Hi, everyone. Welcome to MARN's live virtual event for the MARN Members Exhibition 2020 2.0, a year in translation. Hope you're all safe at home, maybe with some popcorn in your lap, here to join us in the event festivities. I cannot wait to show you a glimpse of what we've been working on over the last little bit, well, more than a little bit at this point. I cannot wait to also feature the exhibition's work that we've been putting up in the space that unfortunately we haven't allowed the public to see yet, but hopefully soon. Before we get into the exhibition and all the other elements that we have planned for tonight, I want to let you know a little bit about myself, who I will be one of the MCs tonight, and so will be the next person presenting. My name is Riley Niemoff. I am MARN's gallery director. My pronouns are she and her. And in addition to working for MARN, I'm also an interdisciplinary artist. My practice focuses mostly on everyday experiences, the mundane, the kind of personal moments, those quiet moments you might have by yourself and where you kind of feel inspired by maybe a corner of a room, the trim. It's so silly to think about, but they highlight these moments in my art. I transform them, maybe a little bit more abstract so they can be accessible to someone else's experiences and go beyond and maybe expose you to something you haven't been thinking about recently. In addition to MARN, I also am Plum Blossom Initiative's program manager. The main project I work on is the Bridgework program, a professional development program for emerging artists that just graduated with their undergraduate degree, their BFA. Those students are chosen usually from UWM and MIAD, but the goal basically for the program is to help bridge that gap between that time of being a professional artist and just starting out. You know, it's never as easy as you think it's going to be when you first graduate. They're having an exhibition coming up in UW Oshkosh at the Alan Preem Gallery, so follow them on social media to learn more about that. I'm super excited for that exhibition. Otherwise, I can't tell you again how excited I am to present tonight. We are going to have performances by Wade Fernandez, the music virtual performances. I was going to say exhibitions, but performances, really. I'm so excited for myself. I haven't quite seen them, so they're new to me as well. And then we're also going to have Kayvon Cortez Jones perform some spoken word pieces, as well as some intros from our team members, and a little sprinkle of surprises at the very end for everyone to see. I look forward to it all, but at this point, I'll hand it off to Christina to introduce themselves.
Hear me, everyone. How's that? All right. Whew. My heart's racing a little bit. I'm going to say that to get all the nerves out of here. But without further ado, with well over 60 international music and educational tours and multiple international awards, Wade Fernandez shares a world of music and messages that are firmly grounded in his indigenous Menominee roots and his love for Grandmother Earth. So without further ado, Wade, I'm going to invite you to start your video here. And thank you everyone so much for joining. Again, I'm Christina. I'm MARN's Creative Content Manager and your co-MC for tonight. Wade, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. Good to see you.
Nice. All right. Well, I'm gonna hide my camera here, and the screen is all yours. Thanks for joining us.
Oh, Awan and Christina, Poso na Tanaway Makanuk, Mishik Manuiak, Machatok, Aswasian, Wichiwan a piece Mahwao, Wade Fernandez, Mokuman and Aswasian, Awasan a Totem. I just spoke to you in the Menominee language. I'm from the Menominee tribe, and right now that's where I'm at. I'm at my home on the Menominee reservation. My pronouns are he, him, his. And I spoke to you in it could be the original language of this land, actually, because we've been here in this place since the time of the Ice Age. You know, that's how far our stories go back, as how many people. So it's a great honor to be here, and I wanna do something to start out on with a native flute, Papiquin Kakatoatum. That means it cries out, and this is for MARN and for all of the artists out there struggling. You know, it was a hard year that we had last year. A lot of us struggled to find any types of gigs because we're used to doing live performances, many of us, and the venues, the art galleries, all these places have been closed. So, you know, putting out some good thoughts for everybody. And if you would like, you know, put your hearts and your minds and your thoughts together for everybody out there, you know, because we need some healing. So. All right. Well, Landon, I'll be back later on in the show, but I just want to start out with something, you know, for everybody, and wish you all well, and wish MARN a wonderful opening.
There we go. Christina back here, and I'm going to switch it over to our president, Mal, for an introduction.
Hello, I'm Mel Montoya. My pronouns are he, his. Wade, thank you so much for that beautiful music. And I feel just a little cleansed after that. So thank you very, very much. Unfortunately, we're not yet open to the public, but we still felt that with all the work that we've been doing over the last year and a half, it was important to share a little bit behind the curtains that have kind of shielded us from the general public. But we're very, very excited of what we were able to accomplish in this period of time. I do, however, before we go any further, want to take a moment to thank our board of directors who have been very instrumental with their vision as well. So thank you, each and every one of you, and as well our very special donors who have made this place possible. So thank you very, very much. So you're going to see in just the next couple of minutes just how busy we've been. This is the entryway of our new facility. I'm going to slowly walk around and show you a little bit of what we have to present to you and offer to you. Again, I wish we were open, but this is the best we can do for now. So as you can see, our entryway is going to be dedicated to merchandising as well as a lounge area, so that when you come in, you'll be able to relax a little bit, be able to take it all in. We're very, very excited about this area here. We also have over on this side over here, if you'll follow me, our new conference center. And this conference center is going to provide not only a large screen TV and Christina as well, but this will be telephonically connected. So we'll be able to, of course, have not only conference meetings in here, but we'll be able to use it for instructional purposes as well. Very, very excited for this room here. If you come back this way, you enter into the exhibit hall. The exhibit hall, as you can see, has our first show that until now has remained virtual, but it's a beautiful show, and Riley is going to be sharing a lot more of that with you in the next couple of minutes. If you walk back this way into the facility, we have our staff offices. I have a small office, of course, and then back over this way, something that I'm really, really excited about, and this is going to be our innovation lab. The innovation lab is going to be a place where MARN is going to be pushing the boundaries, that intersection of technology, innovation, and arts. There's so much exciting aspects to that, and we'll be sharing that with you at some point as well. But I think tonight we're just going to let you know that it's in the works. So we're going to just kind of move right around the exhibit hall. Of course, we'll have all the amenities, as well as a catering station in the back that will be able to provide meals, as well as servicing for the cafe that I'm going to show you in just a moment. We'll swing back around this way. More of the exhibit hall comes to view. As you can see, something that I'm very, very excited about are these walls, for example, 10 feet tall. They're all portable. They can be moved around. We can configure the space into any type of configuration that we would need to accommodate any of the artwork that we're looking at. As you can see above, we have some tremendous lighting as well that is all designed, again, to let the artists feel that their work is being properly displayed, so that they feel that we have given them the best possible opportunity for anybody to enjoy their work. If you come back this way, this is another area that I'm very, very proud of. This area here can also be configured into a multitude of ways. And I'll have our camera person walk around this way. And I wanted to just kind of let you know that we have a lot of technology built in. We have down-firing speaker systems. We have absolutely brilliant machine up above here, which is going to be a projector that's going to be going on this 133-inch screen right here. So we have a lot of opportunities to show, whether it be a documentary, short film, be part of a presentation, be in support of an artist talk. We certainly wanted to be able to offer some of these amenities as well. So as we move this way, I'll just stand behind our intrepid camera person. Thank you so much, Riley. We wanted to do something that was very, very special. And that was when we had a chance to kind of brainstorm concepts for how we could build a hybrid location that offered not only state-of-the-art exhibit hall and gallery, we also wanted to have a cafe. The cafes are actually split in two. We have a wonderful bar that's going to be serving wine. As a matter of fact, we do have our full license on that. And when we become open to the public, I know that this is going to be a very popular spot. As well, we also have another area over here that is dedicated to our coffee bar. And we're very, very fortunate that we have a couple of individuals here that are going to be working with our partner, Owen from Rubik's. Thank you, Owen. And these are individuals here that are going to be showing you some of the different aspects of our coffee making ability. All the coffee beans are going to be roasted here locally for us. They're going to be brought in by Owen and his team. And we are just very, very fortunate that we've got some of the best equipment as well. We'll have light food fair, of course, as well. This other area here, as you sweep around, is going to actually be cafe seating. The cafe seating, of course, once we become public and open, we'll have several seats, whatever we can get brought in, of course, with the city COVID requirements all being fully observed. So as you can see, we've got absolutely, by the way, this is going to be one of the first coffees that have been made, and I couldn't be more proud to know that I get to actually sample it live here today. So again, I toast all of you. Thank you very, very much for all your hard work. Owen, thank you very, very much. And again, thank you to our community that's been behind us and supportive as we've built out this facility over the last year and a half. So again, thank you all. Cheers, and all my best to you.
Oh. How about now? Can you hear me? Oh, cool. Okay, cool. So I am going to introduce Nicole. Nicole is our administrative coordinator. Well, without further ado, I'm just going to hold up on that video and I'm going to switch it over to Riley, foreshadowing to the next event. All right, Riley. I'm going to pause here and just say I am so excited for Riley to tune in and share all the hard work that she did in supporting this exhibition. I've gotten to see it slowly, so you're all in for a treat. Riley, how are you doing over there?
Very good.
Yeah, good.
Awesome. Hi, everyone. All right. So thank you, Mal, for giving the full tour of the exhibition. My purpose here is one, to explain a little bit about what the exhibition has been and why we put it on during COVID, and also give you a little more insight into how I put it together, since again, we haven't been able to have any public revealing of this in person at the very least. So welcome. You can see there's a banner here that has the title on it and all the names of the artists. It was a MARN members exhibition. But basically, the reason why we wanted to do the MARN members exhibition is we had a group of members stick with us for about a year and a half through our building phase. So we really wanted to honor their time and commitment to knowing that we were going to get to this place, have an opportunity for them to put their art in and really keep that connection and thank them for all of their support. We have 51 artists in this exhibition. All of the work is themed around 2020. Hence 2020 2.0. It did get put up in 2021, but it does feel like we almost lost a year. It's a time for people to kind of think about what that year was for them, whether it made artwork about that year, or maybe they just continued to make in small ways to keep them creatively going. All of it is throughout this exhibition. So come on in, join me. All right, so the first video that I start with is by Lodge. The reason I put this video at the very beginning is it speaks about COVID and the health aspect, and 2020 being that the health providers, as in Lodge's husband, and the dealing of having to social distance. So quickly, I go straight into the truth and lies, all the conspiracies that happened this year, all the different untrust that happened as this all got revealed from Dennis Robert. He also made this beautiful, quite heavy sculpture, very tactile pieces that lend themselves very easily to Lennis Matthews' work.
Oh, no, I was just gonna intersect for a second, because I know we have the sound off for the video, but like, because I got to hear it yesterday, like, can you remind me like what that video sounds like when we do have that audio on for the documentary?
Oh, yes, thank you.
I love it so much, I had to go back.
See with us today, so that's awesome. Lodge's video is narrated actually by, I'm pretty sure, themselves, but it has this quiet overtone explaining the emotions And the kind of, even at the end, it says, you know, it's 4 months in and I realized that normal is not gonna happen anytime soon. This is gonna last a long time. So it really is almost a journal of their experience, their family household, having a person who works in the healthcare industry, living with them, socially distanced, cleaning their clothes, their wallet, you know, as they walk through the door, taking a shower immediately after, everything that went into that. So very powerful piece, 2 minutes long. So do watch all of our videos on our marketplace. It is up on our website. You can find those links easily in the event, the Facebook event as well, or on our website. Again, go to Art and Culture Hub. Gallery is for more information, or go to Marketplace for all of those listings of works. I'll give that to you again so we can get there. All right, thank you, Christina. So we can go quickly over here. We do have pieces that are talking again about COVID, quarantine, social distancing. This piece is about the children in Spain for the first time getting to go outdoors after being stuck kind of indoors for so long, getting out to play for the first time. So the kids maybe felt uncomfortable doing that during 2020. Again, childhood water bottle, a mask. It also has webs on it. It kind of shows the time, how long this COVID pandemic happened. Then we enter into the landscape. Many people actually ended up finding solitude and their soul in nature since we had to social distance for so long. I love this piece by Beth Stoddard, who actually is painting a plein air piece. There's a reflection of portrait happening, but you see that glimpse of a mask. Piece by Tom Smith talking about relations of festivals and parades and the American culture that's changed since then. And before I go to Nicole's piece, I want to look at Abigail Engstrand's, who was really talking about listening, whether that is to the environment we're in nature, or even to the voices that were so strong this past year. Now, I do want to not talk too much about Nicole Shaver's work. We're going to have an amazing video in just a moment. Christina will introduce. But this is Lagoon Wader by Nicole Shaver, our administrative coordinator. All right, here we go.
All right. So as Riley mentioned, Nicole is our administrative coordinator, and I'm gonna, without further ado, share the video that she made for us. Oh, hang on. Sorry, everyone. All right, let's take two on that. You just saw absolutely nothing there. Okay.
Hi, MARN, the Milwaukee artist.
All right, bear with us, everyone. This is different than when we tested it.
Resource Network. It's me, Nicole Shaver, your coordinator.
Cool. Thanks, everyone, for your
My
patience on
pronoun-
that.
I am joining you tonight from my home office in Port Washington, Wisconsin, just north on Lake Michigan. And I'm pre-recording this little visit with you with the power of technology to share some special spaces and work that I have been doing. So here goes. Let's get outside and try something else. I think we're here. We're out by Lake Michigan in Port Washington, one of my favorite spots. So if you can't get a hold of me at nicole@marnarts.org via email, I might be in a wild place like this. And this place is super special in relation to that painting in the exhibition. So if we could flip to that now, that'd be great. In 2020, it was super important to be in place, wherever that place was. I think people really started exploring wild spaces in a way unlike any other year, just because we kind of got wanderlust crazy and needed to be back in those spaces. And for me as an artist, I'm really interested in ecology and how we sort of meditate on these spaces and can recreate ourselves through recreation. And it's kind of special to see a lot of people in this place right now as the sun starts to set. March 3rd, sorry. Almost a year, 2020, it starts to be kind of cyclical for me right now. And actually a few days ago, 2 days ago, March 1st, I did a performance of sorts with some materials I had been gathering down here at the beach. And I'll show that video to you in a second here, but I also want to show you what the beach looks like today in comparison to the video, because it does change so quickly and daily down here in the winter. All of that ice that's in the video has now melted. And the way that the earth responds is just wonderful. You'll also see that teepee in the video. So let's see if perhaps I'll show you the video here, and then I want to take you to where all of that beechwood, which is actually all around me right now, I'm sitting in a pile of it, is living in my studio downtown Port Washington. So here, with the power of technology, we'll flip there. See you in a second. And here we are now in my studio with the famed beechwood wreath. It's here taking up all the space. It's usually hanging on a wall, but I haven't had time to hang it back up. But there she is in all her glory. 6 feet around, which is quite significant, I think, given the 6 feet social distancing. So I'm kind of thinking with that piece about things being cyclical and sort of weaving the material around us in keeping with a record, but also a frame. So I'll show you some other things around my studio that have been sort of kicking around in my brain. Here we go. Some cyanotypes. This great picture of Niagara Falls. And this is kind of a collage wall where things get built. So there's lots of photos and clippings from magazines, usually travel magazines. And I'm going to flip the camera 1, 2. Sorry, I couldn't stand that any longer. So usually I'm over here checking the wall out and digging around in the flat files. Coming up here, usually getting an X-Acto. Start digging. I just did a trip out southwest, so that's been on my mind in regards to place. And usually come down here to the cutting mat, do my work, and lickety split to a sculpture. The sculptures I've been creating using resin mostly and some found materials. And here we are inside Gallery 224, where I am administrative coordinator and director of their Art Servancy program. Art Servancy is an artist in residence program that pairs area artists up with area land trusts and encourages creative work and conservation in those spaces. And I'm really excited to support that program because I'm interested in ecology and what creative people do in natural spaces. So down here at Gallery 224, we are featuring in monthly rotating exhibitions in our window spaces, the work of those artists, and on our website. So my job is to help support those artists being seen. Here right now on view, we have the work of Vicki Reed, and you can find her work also for sale on our website, and I'll do my best to link in with this video somehow for you to follow us and my work there at Gallery 224 here. So I'm also a little bit kind of a restless person, and tonight, Wednesdays, I like to go swimming, so I'll take you virtually swimming. So wherever you are, there you are, and I hope wherever that is, there's water. So jump on in, the water's warm, and become a MARN member today. Thanks for having me. I'm Nicole Shaver. See you later.
I love that video so much. Okay, I'm gonna see if I can do Nicole's little trick and snap us to Riley that's technically on the screen. To you.
Oh my gosh, that video, the first time I watched it through, I think Christina and I were like clapping, screaming. So I'm so glad everybody was able to watch that. And thank you, Nicole, for putting that together in your absence today. So great to have you on our team. Well, let's get back into the exhibition a little bit. I can start with this piece by Dick Blau, which actually is a photograph that's a part of a video, much longer video. But what I really like is it as a reflection, self-portrait atmosphere, and it's actually directly across from that Beth Stoddard piece I show, again, a reflection self-portrait. We can go on here. Now this space is a little bit more about aesthetics, a little bit more about architecture and place. We have 2 pets, but we also have 2 encaustic pieces and a couple of more architectural items here. I just love to talk about this title of this piece when we swing on over, because it's friendship in the time of COVID, me taking a photo of you, taking a photo of me. I might have said that title slightly wrong, but a great piece kind of encapsulating what a lot of us went through in social distancing, and also a little spooky to look at. So this hallway, I consider to be kind of the political hallway in some way. Their pieces are really talking about the pandemic, BLM, and the experience that all surrounded those heavy moments that we all went through. We have moments that are just encapsulating what you can do in COVID, maybe just even witnessing the different headlines, different moments, coloration, brightness, riding the wave to normalcy, even honoring somebody who passed away this past year, Ruth Bader Ginsburg. We did get a new vice president as well, Kamala Harris. But I love the way that these are presented because they have both in common but separate point of views, Black Lives Matter and the political atmosphere we have, depending on how you look at it. Pieces that are developed specifically about Black activism and police brutality, with also maybe a more aesthetic viewpoint on what that means to be a fighter. Works that are just really talking about the experience and the weight of everything that's going on still today, and not just 2020, but maybe where it all started. And before I do want to swing to these works so we don't miss them, a piece by the Ox and a piece by Elizabeth. This one's about befriending your anger. A lot of us had a lot of anger we were holding on to during that time, but I love how cute it becomes. It becomes something that you like to look at versus something you may hate. Being next to a piece like The Ox, which is kind of aggressive, these headlines, these little bits of mail, all talking about listening, wearing masks, and maybe all the items that we miss, Summerfest, etc. for those in Milwaukee. Come on through and join me over here. The space is so large, I feel so lucky to be a part of it. I was even able to create a room with those little walls that Mal spoke about. And before I speak too much about what was curated here, I want to make sure that Christina didn't have a question for me before I move on to talk about Brianna's piece.
Well, again, I just want to, if you can like share, because, we were listening to this yesterday, describe like the audio that we're about, I know we're not going to get to hear it tonight, but I guess like your initial response when you first heard the audio to Brianna's piece that we're about to see.
Yeah, for sure. That is the one thing. They're all muted today just so I didn't have to yell over the videos. But Brianna's pieces in particular do have that more repetitive audio that's not particularly narrative like Laja's was the first one we spoke to, but is more about the ambiance. It sets the tone for what you're experiencing. This piece right here, titled Vigil by Brianna Hernandez-Balricher, is actually having a clock tick. When you hear an actual clock, not a digital one, kind of go around and do that second mark play throughout. So it kind of talks about time for me. I'm projecting onto this piece, of course, but it's like the time of mourning, the time of honoring, and how it just continues on whether you're ready for it or not. We are going to hopefully pull up a video by Brianna in just a moment on Christina's end, and I'm going to read the statement for Brianna since she wasn't able to make it here tonight in honor of her contributing to MARN. She is our Cultural Transformation Director. All right. This video is titled Consequence. Consequence depicts the inner turmoil of caregiving for the terminally ill, the frustration, pain, and exhaustion of common caregivers' task, alongside their anticipatory grief, are expressed in an imaginary space where they can be safely released. Often caregivers place their own emotional and psychological needs last out of necessity for the sacred work they carry out. Compounding this trauma is isolation one faces with navigating this ever-changing and situational experience. Consequence offers an honest representation of this aspect of end-of-life care, as well as the aftermath of acute grief which follows. This is the general statement by Brianna. There are a few parts that I cannot pronounce exactly right, but I will try to read to the best of my ability. The US tends to have difficulty confronting the realities of life as it relates to the death and the process of dying, leaving many caregivers and the bereaved to feel isolated and shamed into silence in their grief and trauma. After becoming a caregiver and ultimately losing my mother to cancer, I have made an effort to break down this silence through my artwork and researched others, sharing this desire across industries. My ongoing body of work anticipatory, and this is the second word I can't say, but I'll try, disputes, shares videos, installations, workshops, and resources aiming to bridge these points of reference to common communal opportunities for healing, and an honest, open dialogue around dying and grief. In making my own experience vulnerable, I invite others to share their stories and offer insight for those close to caregivers and the bereaved to be more understanding of the challenges their loved ones face. As we continue to collectively face loss on a global scale, the bereaved and caregivers have been placed in even more isolation. For the physical safety of ourselves and their highly vulnerable loved ones and patients, many are severely lacking in logistic and emotional support while social distancing. Having intimate knowledge of the isolation which already comes with these roles, I offer my ongoing work as a source of solidarity and empathy for those facing in these heightened circumstances. Extensions of anticipatory includes utiles curativos. Again, you might want to ask Brianna on that pronunciation, which treats common caregiver tools as sacred and holy objects in order to consider their value within the difficult circumstances they are used. And aquí descansamos, which presents an alternate form of memorial, contrasting the somber and gray stone visuals of traditional cemeteries with color, growth, decomposition, and renewal in the form of a living cemetery. Visit www.briannalhb.com to learn more, and also to read this statement in a way that maybe you can get the correct pronunciation of some of these titles. You can go to MARN's Marketplace and click on Brianna's 2 video pieces. They have both of her statements, very strong, very important works to be looked at and read about. All right, thank you. I'm back on. All right, so we are going to go on to a spoken word performance by Kayvon Cortez Jones, someone who has actually been through some of MARN mentored programs of MARN, and also I feel so lucky to be a part of this event. Christina will get that worked out for you, but thank you so much for being a part of this event tonight, Kayvon.
All right, thanks for that, Riley. All right, here we go.
How about it?
Hi, I'm Kayvon Cortez Jones. I'm a local spoken word artist here from Milwaukee. I've been writing ever since I was 13 years old, thanks to local mentors and spoken word artists Kwabena Nixon and Mohib Dyer. Call me he, his, him. I identify as Kayvon Cortez Jones, the one and only. I graduated high school 8 years ago. I turned 27 this year, and I can't believe I graduated high school 6 years ago from Riverside University High School, class of 2013. I did not do too much college. I did a semester of college, but it wasn't for me. I just kept pursuing my dreams as a writer. And so here's my first narration, Pears of the Midwest. I had writer's block for 3 days. My notebook hadn't felt the fingertips of a finished poem caress its pages for 72 hours. It was mental torture as emerald serpent mornings boa constricted around those purple phoenix nights. Those abstract colored beasts were the symbolism of my time of day. I was wanderlusted. My lust to wonder was lavender as the naked lights I saw when I closed my eyes. I wandered downtown and climbed to the top of the U.S. Bank building. Feet dangling, the sky was a purplish blue quilt on my shoulders. The moon wore a big Wisconsin cheese smile. I could see the whole entire city from that height. Probably even as far as Lambeau Field, if I had my glasses. I sat, I wrote, I scribbled, I ripped pages out of writer's block syndrome. A perpetual headache throbbed. It felt like an anvil was dropped on my head. It slowly went away with a seldom felt June breeze. I lit sights of the city take my breath away. I saw an inundation of cars on Wisconsin Avenue, the epitome of New York's Times Square streets. pubs, taverns, and eateries, intoxicated and standing cross-legged. St. Patrick's Day is the greatest night to binge. Budweiser, Blatz, Miller, Blue Ribbon, Heineken, Golden Brown, and bubbly in their cups. I saw bikers in their black polyester tights cycling down the Oak Leaf Trail, a single white light flashing in front of their rear wheels. Bisco was in flimsy bikinis and Hawaiian swim shorts at the North Point pub, rear seated on outside umbrella tables, slicing their tongues down frozen custard on a cone. I saw Oakland Avenue. Thrift store hippies were coming out the Goodwill. The thin aroma of artificial cheese, pizza from the Little Caesars. The smell of brilliantly cooked and seasoned lamb meat was coming out the Oakland Gyros restaurant. I heard talented guitarists and ambitious slam poets doing their thing in the Myanmar theater. Mother Nature's daughter, Sandy, flashed the light, signifying the start of a new performance. Blister performance games to get a CD audio recording, $2 cost. Nostalgia I gained when I saw the past 4 years of my life embodied in one building, Riverside High. Unwritten memories, two-faced faces of so-called friends. The days of room 321 and 317, Mr. Mocha Poetry Club days, gives me mental tears. I ask God for a panacea because I am allergic to nostalgia. It literally takes my breath away. I had breathed once more when I looked at my beautiful downtown home city lights. I can honestly say, Cream City, you are the Paris of the Midwest. If your arch nemesis Chicago has something to say about it, call up some Packers fans to TP its Sears, Willis Towers with rolls of cheese. I'll take your cheese curds over a Shotown style hot dog any day. Your smooth selling Marquette interchange gripping Harleys give you more Motown than the Motor City of Detroit. Henry Ford's trucks are mediocre to your motorcycles. You put the slam in my poetry. You put the slam in this poem. I feel like a million walking when I walk your streets. I love you, Milwaukee.
Oh, I don't know. It's so cool to have KJ on screen and then to be here because in 2015, me and him were MARN mentees, and we were it was gallery night, and we were in the Marshall Building when MARN was in its first location. So I just have to add that little. This is just a really cool moment. All right, Riley, I'm gonna pass it back off to you.
Hi, everyone. Yes, that was great ending with Christina. And I know of Kayvon, but to actually have worked with him in this way has been amazing. Before I move on too much to the space, I did want to give everyone the right to kind of see the work in here. With Brianna's piece being so much about grief and somewhat of tragedy, having that breaking point. A lot of these pieces have cracks or divide or something going on in them in this room. And they also tend to be a little bit more abstract, as I think Brianna's pieces lend themselves to abstraction with having a person in them. There is such a weight to the graphic nature of her videos. In this piece here as well. All right, so come on over and see the rest of this. A piece by Jenny Gao, someone who's actually collaborating with MARN right now as a consultant. Artists are like canaries in a coal mine. We need them to keep singing. Something that's really awesome to think about and something we take as heart putting on an exhibition, knowing that right now we're not able to have people physically here. We still felt it was right to showcase our members' art despite that fact. We have pieces that are a little bit more traditionally abstract, but still really lend themselves. Pieces by David Steer, Frank Korb, who actually was collaborating with us on our Gallery Night and Day virtual events. A piece by Eric I, again, going a little bit more on the political and social justice format, something you can actually see when you turn that corner from that hallway I talked about, as well as pieces by Krista. This one actually is Morse code for lucky. And this one has time to be good to one another. Both signs that exist in the real world been altered for these paintings. We can continue on into this space here. We have a piece by Ellen Rosansky, which actually is a comic that was actually in a newspaper. It reads, "I feel like everyone's been acting so distant lately." Very humorous and very relevant, even to this event tonight. You think about a little bit meta in the fact that we're pretending like you're here. You know, I'm motioning to you, but you're at your home and I'm here right now. We're very remote, but we're trying our best to stay connected all that we can, aren't we? Piece by our actually MARN Curatorial Advisory Committee member, Frank Juarez, "The Picture in My Mind." Something by our board chair, Pamela Anderson, "Color Blocks 3. And I don't know if you want to take a little bit of a look around, seeing that's a three-dimensional piece there. Great works, something that is just, again, there may be a little bit more formalistic approach, but the colors, the simplicity with a little bit of brightness kind of lend itself to something that is closer to those landscape works I was talking about, but really still artificial in color in terms of brightness, and really about taking advantage of art as its own entity. I do want to allow us to introduce Michelle if she's available right now. And
All right. Michelle, welcome.
Hello.
Introduce yourself.
Hi.
How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing fine. It's a little strange, this whole thing. I'm not used to talking to a computer screen like this, and it's all good. So, hi, my name is Michelle St. Amour. My pronouns are she and her. I'm currently in my home office, which is also used for a variety of other things, including today, a place to show some of my recent artwork behind me. I wanted to be able to use my studio as the location for my video debut. However, the Wi-Fi connection there is not great. Riley and Christina tell me that I need to tell everyone a little bit about my role at MARN. So I thought I would start with that before I get into my actual piece of art. This is my 4th year working for MARN. And in my current role, I'm the director of programming. Currently, we're in the middle of producing our two largest programs run by amazing people. We have MARN Mentors run by program coordinator Jody Alexander, and MARN Salons run by program coordinator Nina Ganbarzada. The Mentors program averages 15 mentors and approximately the same number of mentees, though some years 1 or 2 mentors will take on an extra mentee. Most pairs are currently visual artists this year, although in past years we've also had spoken word and musicians participate as well. During the season, our mentor-mentee pairs meet at least once a month to discuss whatever the mentees feel they need help with. It could be something like studio organization or creative techniques. Often mentors help out the mentees by introducing them to networking connections or taking their mentee to art shows where they might engage in a critique or a discussion about the works they're looking at. The overall program provides mentees with business or professional workshops, portfolio reviews, networking opportunities, and more in order to assist their career progress. Throughout the season, the mentor and mentee pairs work on creating artwork to be presented at a MARN Mentors final exhibit. The participants are given a unique opportunity to show this artwork to a large number of people over an approximately month-long show. Our most recent post-COVID opening night alone brought in over 400 visitors just on the opening night to the show. It was an amazing experience. We had 2 spoken word people and the rest were visual. We did have a musician that year too. So it was just an amazing event, and it's a really exceptional opportunity to show off their work. And now with this big, beautiful new space, we have an even more a phenomenal opportunity for everyone. So I'm super excited. That final exhibit event will take place starting in November. So mark your calendars, check our website for the actual dates on that. If you're interested in being a mentor, please reach out tojalexander@marnarts.org. And if you'd like to apply to Mentee, follow us on social media or become a member. When the next application window opens, we'll announce it widely. Next is the MARN Salon. It's the second of our current major programs, and it's also running right now. The season consists of 3 week-long experiences that include studio visits, portfolio reviews, a public workshop, and a smaller roundtable discussion. Our program coordinator, Nina, along with our advisory committee, which consists of Valeria Tatera, Rose Curley, and Katie Loffmiller, curate a list of potential guests, artists, local artists, and moderators to approach about working with us to present the season. Salon 1, which occurred in February, included guest artist Soraya Mila, who is an Afro-French filmmaker, and our local artist was Reynaldo Hernandez. Nina, Soraya, and Reynaldo participated in the studio visits and portfolio reviews with local artists. They were all done virtually, as is the entire season. Next was a public workshop hosted by Soraya and a roundtable discussion moderated by Mary Louise Schumacher. Both of these events allowed for conversations about creative process, inspiration, and roadblocks to presenting your work. We had lots of laughter, insight, and networking. In fact, I'm planning to go visit Soraya sometime soon, once we can get back to normal over in France, because we had a blast. Salon 2 is currently accepting applications for studio visits and portfolio reviews through March 15th. So go to the website, www.marnarts.org, and fill out an application, because it's a really incredible experience. Shawana Brooks will be our guest artist, and Portia Cobb will be the local artist for Salon 2. Salon 3, which will be taking place in June, is not open for applications yet, but it will be. Our guest artist for that salon is Nutafol Ma, with local artist Annika Kowalik. The season will then conclude with a final exhibit, and that will be opening in September. It'll include all the people who were able to participate with studio visits. And we'll get to take a look at the work they've created since their visits. As far as the rest of programming goes, my hope is that we can continue expanding our programs to an even larger audience of artists and art supporters, all levels, with a view to creating a better, larger network for the arts community. And I think with this location we're opening, we're really going to be a strong voice for the whole community. We're hoping to reach out to maybe not so highly trafficked areas of town and be able to bring some of the artwork into a space where more tourists seem to come around. So we're hopeful that we're going to be able to show off a lot of new artwork to the visitors to Milwaukee and the community at large. And then I guess that kind of wraps up my talk about what I do. If you guys want to show my artwork again, I can talk quickly about that. Thanks. So this piece is titled Italian Bridge Solitude. It's an acrylic on canvas, and it's pretty much a nod to the social distancing we've been undertaking over the past year, and it's also representative of the shift in style I've been experimenting with recently. The color, the vibrant, almost unnatural colors, they come into play a larger role in my work as a way of escaping the social isolation and sadness we've all experiencing due to COVID, as well as the divisiveness going on in the country. It's a way to see the world as a more fantastical and happy place. I have found painting in this style over the last 6 months or so to help me stay hopeful and optimistic that the world will soon emerge from this current darkness. With that, I think my time is up. So if you'd like to reach out, go to the website and contact us. Donate to our cause so we can continue to help artists make their way and continue to flourish, especially once this world gets back to some semblance of normal. Thank you all so much for coming tonight, and back to you guys.
Thank you so much. And I totally hear, I don't know, trying to put out that vibrancy. So thank you for that. And I'm excited for everyone at home, like Michelle and I are going to get to work closer together for like some of the graphics here. So it's exciting to hear that you're having like a vibrant approach to visuals to put out in the world right now. So thank you so much. Have a wonderful night. We'll see you soon.
Yeah, you bet. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.
Yeah. Hey, Riley. What are we looking at?
Thank you so much, Michelle, for popping in and taking the time to let us get to know you a little bit better. I do want to show you some more works. This piece is by Nirmal Raja, who has been very significant in the building of MARN in this past entity as we develop into what the new version of MARN is. Also someone that I've worked closely with, as she was my MARN mentor as well as kind of a mentor to me even afterwards as I was an artist assistant. This piece is The Wall Within. It has piano playing in the background, as well as a poetry reading at the very beginning. Again, I recommend everybody view all the videos on our platform, on our website, to really get to see them better and understand them. This piece lends with the fabric and the hands and the bushing to the piece by John Steiberg right here. A photography works, The Awakening, a piece that has the kind of home elements, the color with that bright red pink coming through. Oh, all those lines kind of lend yourself to Nina's piece right here, who also is running MARN salons, which Michelle talked about some in her intro. Very great person who's also on our board at MARN to have here and to speak with. I don't want to miss out on this little bit of a corner in this exhibition. Like I said, there's different ways that people reacted to the prompt of 2020 for this exhibition. I found this area to be kind of playful, more about characters or collage or bringing together different ideas and kind of personifying. We have something that's a little more chaotic by Tom Ederle, and this piece by here, Sandra.
Riley, what are, like, are those mirrors on that collage piece?
Yeah, they're actually,
I think there's like words or something.
yeah, it says dreams, not screams.
Dang. Yeah, okay.
It's so
Fair.
different
Fair, 2020.
in JPEG format. So if you don't know Tom's work, do look him up. Very cool artist who actually just had a piece done in the newspaper, I think, as well, about his studio. Cool. And we do see these two works by Deidre. This one's Lovers and Bonk. Again, very playful works. Playful works like this that kind of collage and bring different materials and pieces and personify them, make them into something completely different, always have a special place in my heart because it makes me want to play, makes me want to go into my studio and kind of grab all those things I've held on to for years and actually do something with them instead of them living in a box. So very fun area. And as you see, we're kind of looping back around. We do have a couple paintings and some photos here. This piece is by Holly Buckholtz. It's his back float. And another piece about swimming, about moving and childhood and having family and the different changes that they've experienced. And a piece by Phyllis Bankier, someone who is a MARN mentor. The title is Mother Watching Children Playing. Yeah, personifies the flowers in a way you wouldn't think, which instantly brings you into this last little cove in this exhibition. Flowers by Carol Glass. Raccoons in the time of COVID. And my favorite part of this is that little bit of whatever coming, that raccoon right there, eating something. And it's
what's to the right of the raccoon? Like behind, oh, it's another raccoon. I have raccoons in my place. I can relate. One actually got into my bedroom one time, so that's great.
Yeah, what's fun too is that they have this little spirally action here from watercolor that lends itself straight into Carly Knight's piece, which to me has more of something about the body, organism, cells to them. And the title of that is Perfect Imperfection. I think it was one of Carly's first fiber pieces, who usually works with drawing and painting.
I love looking at this piece too. Carly's actually joining us on the live feed via the YouTube, but it's super neat to see that piece again, because Carly and I were also on the same mentor program in 2015, and it's so neat to see it compacted in such like a clean and organized fabric, because when we showed together in 2015, Carly had, it was just a web of yarn. And I didn't know you could do that with yarn. I'm not really doing it justice because I just like don't even know how to describe it, but it was like, it came from like corner to corner and it was on the ceiling, and like we were showing at VAR Gallery at the time, and there was you had the Cream City brick at VAR, so it was really neat to see like this element attached to the brick, and then to see like what is just like a almost like a framed piece now. So it's exciting for me, you know, what are we, like 5 years later, to see like a fellow mentee showing, and we're here on this live feed. So yeah, that's it. I don't know, it's just really cool, the time lapse here.
Yeah, it's actually really fun to see that with everybody. I was a mentee at some point, as I mentioned, and so was Rosie Patrie. This piece is also fiber. If you're not familiar with Rosie's work, it has this quilting that actually creates this hand. I think a really powerful work, and also was a sister in residence. So do look her up. A very cool artist. And lastly, kind of makes it sad for me to say, but here's this glass piece by Laura Dawson. It's titled The Collector. It's actually luminescent, so it depends on if you look at it, how it shimmers. Right now it's capturing a little bit of a reflection from her LED screens you saw earlier. Now, Christina, I know that looking through this exhibition with me the other day, you got to experience it in a way that a lot of people haven't recently. Do you have any comments or questions you might have for me?
Well, I guess I kept asking about the sound earlier because the first time I went through, the TVs weren't on. And I guess like I really want to kind of do a nod to Riley and like set the scene up for people. You know, you walk into MARN and you see Thelma, and then you hear you know, a family member narrating what was the documentary that we saw, and then you hear the clashing of plates from Brianna's piece, and then this kind of like, I think it's a little bit mischievous music coming from Namal's. And all of that together, I feel like kind of like sets the tone to not only the exhibition, but I'm like, yeah, that was 2020. You know, it was a little bit surreal. It was absolutely frustrating, and then it was like kind of heartbreaking to even if like you didn't have like an immediate family member directed by this, like it was a communal and felt like experience. And I guess like Riley, I'm curious. Actually, well, I wanted to go back to thinking about Normal's piece, because you get to actually, I was actually fortunate to see that piece in person, and you get to rearrange the piece. And I'm wondering if you ever got to do that in her studio, and if there's like a phrasing that sticks out that also kind of like pairs the show together. Because that's something we were actually talking about, I guess, the other day too. Yeah, this piece here.
Yeah, I, as an artist assistant to Normal, actually had my hands on these plaster bricks, and they're a little bit heavier than you would think, being that they are hydrocal, which is a little bit of a harder form of plaster. But the fact that they were created pouring the plaster, not knowing what that fabric was going to look like, but it still kept this square form, really was exciting to me. And what I know about Nirmal's practice is that she continuously has a project where she makes 101 pretty simple projects every time they go into the studio. She does one of them, she numbers them, and they become something bigger. So I've seen this happen with multiple renditions. This was one of them a year. Then there's one at St. Kate that is of watercolor, larger pieces. And when I was in my MARN mentor exhibition, there was another piece that was hung up on the wall. So their installation becomes one piece, even though it was 101 pieces made on a daily studio practice. What's really beautiful about this is how she's decided to make those bricks into almost a full sculptural form. I know there's different ways to enter this piece, but one that hit me once I saw the final version was the wall within. Made me think about the more politics that were happening at the time, the Mexican wall, the wall, that continuously got talked about if you listen to the news, and this coming out and her struggling to move it and building it and changing it with saris or fabrics that were from India, since Nirmal is from India, was just so, it hit me deep. Very, very cool piece. And I feel lucky to have her video be represented in this exhibition.
That was great. When the credits were going on, I'm like, oh my gosh, another MARN. So Maeve Jackson assisted in making this film, and that's just again so cool because that's how we met each other, and Maeve was also a MARN mentee in 2015. I don't know, that's what excites me about this hub, is for more of those like connections to be made. Riley, do you know if there's any other pieces in the show that like has kind of a collaborative effort like that?
I would say probably Lodge's does. That piece was edited by somebody else. So there's collaboration.
Jenny's piece, is it?
Yeah, and then Jenny also is a collaboration. Unfortunately, her name is losing me right now, so I feel kind of bad about that. But if you give me a second, maybe I can tell you at the very end so we can represent that. But that design was done in collaboration with another artist who is also tagged on our marketplace, or at least mentioned there. So we can find that name, but I'll get back to you on that one.
Well, Riley, I think there might be a resource that could help people. But before I do that, we have another performance with KJ, which I feel like is a perfect segue with like how poetic all these works are. So let me share that. Here we go.
Sounds good.
The second piece is entitled Lake Michigan. I never been to the ocean before, but have let Lake Michigan douse me with its radiance. I've dipped my feet in its glacial wine, whether with a beauteous muse or by myself. Sometimes I love to be alone, trapped in an echo chamber of ambient soothsayers, curled up into a fortune cookie on the lukewarm sand with the curtains closed. Eyes are windows to the soul. I become beautifully imprisoned in myself upon a cathartic altitude we couldn't achieve. A younger me takes flight on a white Pegasus and soars throughout my soul's uploading and out. Peers over every precipice, drinks out every crystal waterfall, rests under every weeping willow. As I idly stare at the ocean, no wait, the lake, but everyone knows this body of blue is an ocean to us Milwaukeeans. Everyone knows this body of blue is Cream City's life. How will we brew our beer without it? How sad would our summers be if we were to bike, walk, beach cruise across Lake Drive and not see it? What would New Year's polar bear plunge be without it? We would plunge into a mucky chasm of sewage, orange barricades, and empty PBR cans. Flashes of toxic phosphanes would temporarily blind us. We would go home sad and drink the year away. But how can we even inebriate our sadness without its existence? Milwaukee without Lake Michigan is a rose without rain, a collectivo with no coffee, a Packer game with no celebratory Lambeau leap, a Brewer game with no bratwurst. If you go to the top of Reservoir Park, you will see Lake Michigan's horizon is a ribbon of indigo tying the city together. Grab your paramour by the hand and inhale the city's felicity. Sit on the dewy grass and let the changing seasons sing for you. The world is going to end one day. When Cream City goes silent, when the downtown buildings start to implode one by one, when city buses and cars are buried under concrete ash and rubble, when the street lights flash yellow, when the city washes away, we will have to run for our lives into the inland sea with only the clothes on our backs, with only peace, love, and cheese clogged in our hearts. Remember, Lake Michigan lets Milwaukee know how beautiful she is. Every morning the electric phoenix spreads its wings. Take care of your water.
Just another thank you to KJ. I know you're not actually like live with us, but oh my God, so great. I'm gonna tune us back to Riley. We're gonna take a look at the gallery again. Riley. Oh, that was my bad. I didn't push the button. Hey, Riley.
Well, I just want to thank you because I know we're going to do an outro with Christina, but dealing with all the different buttons over there is a huge ordeal. You can kind of see a little glimpse. We'll talk a little bit more.
Buttons.
I'll close this door so we don't have any crazy feedback and annoy everyone. Come on through. We'll do a little walkthrough over to Jenny's piece. I did a little bit more of my homework and got that name, Ray Snariki. So a really cool person to check out. And I think a collaborator with Jenny on a few other entities as well. So do follow Jenny's practice as well. Did you have something else you wanted to point out, Christina?
Oh, I'm looking at that canary piece and I'm glad that it exists because someone, this is a side tangent, but somebody said that saying to me, but they didn't say the coal mine part. And I just, I was like, that's such a lovely saying. And I wish I could have enjoyed that compliment more when someone said it. So I just want to highlight that. I'm so thankful that it exists because it's a lovely message. And I have clarity now from that instance. Sorry, totally random.
Yeah, and this piece is actually selling for $10 for each print that will go to artist commissions. So if you decide to buy one from Jenny, it goes to a good place, as well as you can get the framed version that you see here.
That's super. Wait, where'd you say the money goes to?
$10 from each print sale will go into an artist commission fund. By purchasing a print, you're not only supporting the two professionals, Ray and Jenny, and their families, but you will also help them pay the love forward to other artists.
Wow, that's awesome. I actually really want one. That's cool. I'm gonna loop us back quick to Carly. So Carly noted on the live feed, let's see, Carly started with fibers, moved to painting, and then kept doing fibers as well. That's awesome. An artist that like, well, literally like their process weaves in and out as much just as what the final piece is. Do you know offhand if there's any other artists in the show, like what we're seeing is like just like one layer to their practice that you would like encourage people to dive deeper into their work?
Well, Brianna is a great example of that. I've seen different works by Brianna that are so many different collaborations, not even cultural work and community building, but those video pieces, them in their own right. But an artist who doesn't always work in the way that we see in this exhibition is Pamela Anderson, that hinted at already. But I've seen mostly two-dimensional paintings from Pamela and her practice. So I really enjoy how she's been able to play. And I know right now you kind of have to set up a sculpture in some kind of position to be viewed. But if you're able to really look, each side of those cubes have their own color, the different forms that pop in. And I've seen her actually install them. So this one's up, where one's on the side. It's kind of interchangeable. And something I really enjoy about certain sculptures like that is they're never always put up the same way. You can tell that I'm how much I'm talking.
For these pieces, she'll arrange them differently sometimes?
Yeah, I've seen actually this one stood up before, and I'm sure Pamela has played in other ways. I've only seen a few images, but
that's super fun. That's like time-based media in the most analog way. I love it. That's cool.
It is. It's so intuitive, you know, putting, oh, I like that color here and I like how this goes. And I feel like that's kind of how I curated this show. There's some secret moments throughout here. Actually, I'll show you since we have the time now. I'll show you a secret. These pieces already mentioned are both self-portraits in reflection. So they mirror each other. It's kind of a guilty pleasure when I install the work. Best Odor and Jake Blau. And I try to make, since the space is so big, that when you turn a corner, there are little elements that hit. But actually, if you come over here, Mel, There's this angular moment that's mirrored between these two works. Dick Blau's piece has angular form there, and the Roxanne Mayer's train tracks have kind of a mirrored effect in that piece. Again, maybe something I only noticed, but I thought it was fun since I could build it into the exhibition.
That's what I'll see next time I look at it. That's cool. Did you point out the taking a picture of you, taking a picture of me? It's a hard detail to see from here, but I don't know. I love a good friendship, and like so that's why that piece is really endearing to me.
Yeah, Christine Henriks, who I actually just found on Instagram, and correct me if I'm wrong, actually has a project where she takes a photo almost on a daily basis. So do follow her and find out what she's been up to in the last year in photo format.
Love that.
I can't wait.
Riley, are there any other? Oh, sorry. Are there any other secrets in the gallery or in the curatorial process that you want to share?
Sure. So as I said, this is kind of the political hallway. So I knew when you turn the corner, you would be going directly from some heavier content. So you kind of, when you see, you can go straight to Krista's work there that has time to be good to one another and lucky. To me, you can look at those as potentially talking about privilege or potentially talking about the events that were happening with Black Lives Matter, the idea of doing better, but also acknowledging where you are and what challenges and non-challenges you have as a person, and putting that up as kind of a sign. It kind of pulls you straight into those protests that happened this past year. Again, a take of my own, not something that was written in the statement, but just another way to look at the work as you kind of navigate throughout the space. Yes, Mal is reminding me, and I actually think this would be a good time to talk about this on where you can learn more about the exhibition. We do have that marketplace set up. I know I've said it multiple times, but it has everyone's statement, their materials, the size of the piece, and also most of these works are for sale. And 70% of all the sales go straight to the artists into their pockets. So you are supporting them, and 30% goes to me being able to build out this exhibition for the next round and continuing to do different fun, transformative programming like this. We do also, as I've been kind of holding tight in my pocket tonight, have a virtual tour or a virtual exhibition available as of tonight on our website. We are going to make sure the link goes down in our YouTube comment section, so you can easily click on there as well as in the caption. But you can also find it on, go to marnarts.org, the Art and Culture Hub tab, Gallery, Current Exhibition. So it's kind of hidden in there a little ways. So we'll make sure you get the links, you can find it as well. You can actually poke through it like a Google Map scenario. And those within that tour will also have an opportunity for you to click on a piece, read about it, see it closer, but also do what we've done today a little bit, walk through this space in your own right, the best we can give you, knowing that you're not here in person. And that was built by our Nicole Shaver, the administrative coordinator. So I commend her for all the work into that. And we now have the 360 and 3D Vista software to continue doing that. We learned so much during this process. And I hope you all take the moment after this event to kind of peek through what all this work is. 63 works in here. You saw that I gave it the time of day I could during this tour, but there's so much more that I wasn't able to even talk about or reveal. So I hope we all can do that together. Christina, do you have any questions?
Any questions? I'm just thinking about the virtual tour, like what to look for, like what, you know, like what you can see in a virtual tour that you can't necessarily see in person, like the perks of that. You know, one of them is like you can really sit with each of the videos that exist in here. I believe all the statements are on the virtual tour. Is that correct too? For the artist. Yeah, that's just so neat. What's it like for you, like, physically installing the work and then to see all of that labor translated into practically like a video game virtual experience? Like, what was that like when you first opened it up?
It was kind of awesome to see it virtually. The best thing that I've experienced in the, even right now, is that we are allowed to go virtual or kind of forced to do it. So we have events that are happening where people in Kansas, where I'm from, or people in California, or family and friends that wouldn't normally be able to come to Milwaukee to see this exhibition, are able to experience the best way we can get them to. It does have some quirks to it. It is a little bit funky at times. Again, it was our first time around doing it. So at times you will see that the floor in this gallery is not completely level, and the camera reveals that. But overall, clicking through it, the software we have does kind of feel like you're walking through it. It surprised me. And like you said, it does have each statement for each work. So you are able to read and dive into it more than you would with a normal exhibition. Normal exhibition, you just have a binder. And if you're really excited about a work, you go into the binder and read about it. Most of the time, you don't read all the statements when you're at an opening or a closing or an event. It's a networking opportunity. But for a virtual tour and exhibition, you're able to really spend some solitude time with each work, as Christina said. And the audio of the videos doesn't overlap. So it is cool to be in here and kind of experience that collaboration of all the videos. You get to see them and sit with them. A lot of them are much more contemplative works.
Man, you said something. You get to sit. Well, yeah, just the idea you get to revisit each piece like anytime you want. That's what I was gonna say. Okay, so you've gotten to see it. Do you have any? Okay, well, just to, for if anyone that just joined us, or if these virtual tours are new to you, that link, we're going to post it in our YouTube, and then you can also access it via our website. And I'm sure we're going to share it tons because we're excited. Oh, because I'm curious, because Riley, you've been in it a couple times. Any master tips, tech tips, frequently run into issues, just to help make that a smoother user experience for people when they open it up on their phone or their desktop? Or do you have a preference for like a device to view it on to like get the best experience?
Good question. I personally find it's easier to navigate on your computer. Not only is the exhibition bigger, but it also gives you a little bit more ability to see where you can navigate. You can actually hover your mouse around, and the circle on the ground will change to blue, where they can click on a hotspot and it will transfer you to that area. You basically transport to another spot in the gallery. Versus on the phone, you can't hover because you don't have a mouse. So you just kind of click and you're not always sure exactly where you're going. So I do recommend that, but you can go on mobile. You do have to have your phone on landscape mode. So if you're like me and always have it on portrait mode locked, if you have an iPhone, unlock that first, go on landscape, and you can navigate it. And you still have all the capabilities you do on a computer or a laptop, but it is a little bit more funky because you don't have that mouse. You can still click on each piece. Each one is highlighted as blue when you can click on it. And that's where you click on it, pops up as a bigger picture with all the statement and information you want from each artist. Now, if you do experience what I've found, where some of the text at the top of the image is cut off, you can change your browser ratio. But if that isn't a big issue for you, all of the works, again, are listed on our marketplace with their full names and titles if you just can't quite figure that technological issue out. But it can be solved for zoom ratio on your browser, your internet browser.
Sweet. I'm just gonna interrupt for a moment because we have a couple comments in our YouTube chat. Michael Havis said, experiencing art will get better with each MARN presentation. Imagination and application of MARN staff makes art visible in Milwaukee and beyond the limit of space. Thank you for saying that. And it's kind of like a reminder to like everyone watching or people that are watching this later. Yeah, this is here for the artists here in the city and like people visiting. So tell us what you think, because it's a collaborative imagination project beyond the team here. So thanks for saying that, Michael. Well, Riley, anything else thanks for the tips, because I feel like I need those too. So horizontal and a desktop if you have it. And I think, did I get those are the two big ones? And to click around. Did I get it all?
Close
Okay.
enough. Too, so you're good.
All right. Well, we showed off Brianna and we talked about Nicole. So we have, I think it's time to introduce Sam, right?
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Maybe show us some artwork so I can get some time to load this video up. Here we go.
Yeah, I could just talk briefly. Do pay attention to our social media channels. I'll be putting out calls through that. And I've been doing spotlights for all these artists with every piece of work. I think I'm at the last 10 or so artists to do a spotlight on, where I'm putting as much of their statement as Instagram will allow me to in. And we have a membership directory for you to learn and find more out about who we have as members here. Our membership is open to those that aren't just fine artists in this form, two-dimensional artists, but also are maybe doing crafts or performance works, or even spoken word performances, poetry, music. We are always looking at the idea of MARN being for creatives, and that creative word can go expansive for all of Milwaukee and not just what we're used to. I don't know if I said in my first intro because I was a little nervous, but my goal for this space is for it to be transformative, pushing those boundaries of what we're used to seeing for a nonprofit gallery space. This is a gallery and one that has huge amenities to it, great facilities, but also is a time for us to play and experience what art and design and innovation can be. So I can't wait to see what more I build. I've only been in this position for about 5 months, maybe at the most of this time. And any feedback you have, feel free to send me. My email is riley@marnarts.org. I'm always looking to create connections with who we have here and learn more about what people may want from this space and maybe collaborations that can come out of that.
I love that you brought up the performers, because this is my second week here, very new, but I feel like I see a very nice projector. I see a sound system. I see walls that can move, and I see a big space. And when the world allows it, like just room for tons of seating. I love performers. I love musicians. I can't wait. One of my roles here is to document that and contribute it to the archive. So yeah, I can't wait for like physical, us to be physically in the space and to incorporate that multidisciplinary, I don't know, creativity that we have in the city and outside of it for sure. All right, Riley, I'm gonna switch us over to Sam. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Sam Woods. My pronouns are he, him, his. I'm coming to you from my home in Washington Heights, and I'm wearing a light blue shirt and glasses in front of a blank white wall, and over my right shoulder is one of the plants that I've managed to keep alive this winter. I'm MARN's communications manager, so I'm in charge of handling MARN's relationship with the press, and I help our member artists be seen in local, regional, and national media. In addition to my role at MARN, I'm a journalist with the Milwaukee Neighborhood News Service. There I primarily cover education and food security, though, as a scrappy nonprofit news organization, everyone is on general assignment at one point or another, myself included. So while I might focus on education and food security, I'm really writing about a ton of different stuff. But in addition to that, I also teach podcasting through Marquette's Upward Bound program, and I help produce Bridge of City, which is a podcast all about civic engagement opportunities in Milwaukee. While I'm still getting my feet wet at MARN, I'm excited to continue using my skills to generate visibility for our artists and to help your work get to help your great work get the recognition it deserves. Outside of MARN, I'm mostly focused these days on hunting down stories that help families navigate COVID-19 school closures and the fallout those have caused. But I just want to thank you before I let you go. I just want to thank you all for listening in. I hope you all have fun tonight, and I'm looking forward to meeting all of you in person when it is safe to do so. Thanks. Bye.
Sam's so great. I just met him. Well, I met him on Instagram via the post, and then I met him in a Zoom meeting, and it's been great so far. So I'm excited for everyone else to also get to know Sam via Sam's words. Wade, are you still with us? I guess I'd have to.
Yes, I'm here.
You could do that, huh?
Yes,
Wade, welcome back. What do you think so far? Do you have any favorite art pieces? You got to see the show in person the other day.
Yeah, I did, and I can't. I don't remember the names of the pieces, but they were all great. I had some that were a little more of my favorite, but all of them were great. I mean, they're just so impressive, and I can't wait till things are safe where it can open up and people can go in close and that. But having this opportunity to see them virtually and get the virtual tour with Riley is really special, because I had it in person, but now I get to hear more of the details, more of the stories, and also the going back and forth with questions with you and her is really nice as well. So I guess what I'm going to do is I'll do everyone was talking about place and COVID and all these different things, and I was supposed to perform last year in Europe for three tours in Hawaii and just different tours, and everything was canceled due to COVID. So I had to go virtual and had to learn how to do these things virtual as much as I could and as fast as I could. And so I applaud you guys for jumping in, getting your feet wet, and doing a great job. It's not easy, but when I was watching those things, I thought maybe I should show a little bit of visual as well, because when I was unemployed with music, I was playing for tips on live stream for a while. After the COVID, after the state shut down and all my tours shut down, and I got a part-time temporary job doing Creative Health Collective out of Milwaukee, and we were community health workers, and I'm doing it again right now. But during that time, I made a sort of a music video PSA about wearing masks, masking up, and I'm gonna play part of that, because maybe the whole video, because you'll see the my place where I'm from on the Menominee Reservation, and you'll also see some of the things with the masks, but I'm gonna improvise some music behind it. So if I won't be doing like a Milli Vanilli thing, I'll actually be playing, but I'll be making stuff up. And if you hear my flute start playing with the guitar, it's because I have this thing called a looper by my feet, and I can't bring the camera down because if I did, everything will crash. This is my room right here, my bedroom, and it's real tight in here with all this equipment. But anyway, I'll show you what a looper does. So if I'm playing like So now it's repeating with no hands, and I can start to add stuff on top of it. And so that's what I'll do probably during the improvisation. So anyway, it's been an honor to be part of this, and I'll bring a little bit of visual so you can see. First of all, I'll show you where I live. This is about 300 yards in front of my house, but last month, because things are melting now. And now what I'll show you next is this is the video, and I'll just play some music to it, because the video actually has like native flute and cello, but I'm gonna mute the music because this is a live performance, not I'm not just gonna run a video. You'll see the video though. Okay, so here we go. And that's Menominee language right there. I'm gonna let the loop go now. Start the loop. it's a little bit of improvisation with some of the music video that I had made with the Creative Health Collective. I shot all the videos on all the footage on the reservation, Menominee Reservation, and with my tip money from my live streaming, I was able to buy a drone, so that's how I got the a lot of the aerial footage, and it's just been a great pleasure, a great honor to be a part of this. And I lived in Milwaukee for a while. I went to school at UWM and Wisconsin Conservatory of Music, and I got to visit everybody on Thursday at MARN and see some of those places, and it was kind of a homecoming, you know. So anyway, it's been a great pleasure. Appreciate you all having me on here, and support MARN as much as you can, everybody out there, because you know, we all need it as artists, and we also all need it as people to heal. You know, art heals. It heals our communities, and it heals ourselves. You know, so let's keep supporting it and do what we can, you know, to help each other. All right, well, Wanan, and hope to see you all again soon.
Thanks for all that, Wade. I'm glad you mentioned the camera work. I did get to learn a little bit about that side of you as well on Thursday. And it was such a pleasant surprise to see that featured tonight. So thank you so much for the thoughtfulness in your performance. Yeah, and I see you have your website there. Are there any highlights you want to direct people to your website right now?
You know, no, I guess not, because there's as artists, I think we're always moving forward and not backward. And the website is like, that was yesterday, you know? And like I had all my tour dates for last like all the tours set up for last year in Europe and that, and everything is wiped away, gone. I mean, because there's no tour dates. You know, I can't book anything in Europe because you can't even fly there, let alone you know if the venues are still going to be open or what, you know. But there are videos on there. There's music videos on there. There's things I do with education. There's some photos, like in some of the MPS schools, Milwaukee Public Schools. Some photos from around the world where I go into schools and work with students. And I don't know if I have any tour photos, but there's some live performances solo and with my band, which is Milwaukee musicians and Madison musicians. Some solo stuff. I don't know. I don't go to my website. I go to other people's websites, but it's there anyway. And you know, when I started to live stream, I learned that I got to put things like that on my, you know, whenever I go on put my website, because I'm not good at it in person. I'm not the kind of person that says, "Here's my card." It's like, you know, here, let me share something with you. Okay, now I just want to hear about you, not about me. So I got to remember, like, you know, put those things down there so people can contact you, you know, because that's what it's about. It's about, you know, connecting to each other, and it's important. You know, it's really important. So, you know, good question, and thank you for that.
Oh, you're welcome. Well, I can't wait to check out more of the music videos, and that's it. We'll end on that. Well, and I was gonna say, when people are like, you're putting all the energy into your music, so of course, like, you don't put it there, like, you can only do so many things, right? So no, I can't wait to check it out. This was such a treat tonight, and I'll say goodnight at that. And I can't wait to get to travel to Europe and get back to tour, because people got to see this. So thank you again.
Oh, thank you. You guys all take care. I'm going to go watch The Hobbit with my kids because they want to see The Hobbit. We finished Lord of the Rings last night. And now they want to see The Hobbit. So
okay. Well, enjoy that so much. That sounds so great. Take it easy. All right. See you soon. Good night.
Night.
All right. Now it's just me. All right. Hi. It's my turn to introduce myself. I'm Christina. My pronouns are they, them, and theirs. I have prepared just a little video to give you kind of I think a preview of all the things I'm excited to bring here to MARN. So I'm just going to play that and talk over it a little bit. So hey, Christina Osers, they, them, theirs, creative content manager. You can contact me at christina@marn.org. You may know me from Doc My Art. I love the artist process. You're seeing the behind the scenes of tonight's events. That's Nicole on the webcam, Riley and I playing with all the gear. And I just can't wait to share more of, and that's Wade with Brianna in the gallery the other day. And that's just like many things I'm just so excited to dive into here at MARN and take like what is all this experience of documenting and do that here. I also document like a lot of my life. This is my website. You're seeing like a snippet of like what's like 50 videos I did in 2020 in response to the pandemic. Each one is I wrote a little haiku with. So that's just a little piece of what I do here. And also pushing all of the buttons tonight and muting and getting all our videos going. So yeah, I want to say thank you to everyone that joined. Thank you, I don't know, to all the artists that I met prior to this. There's just not enough time to express like how many things went into me getting to be here tonight and in the future. So with that, I just want to say thank you again to our performers, KJ and Wade. I want to give a little shout out to them. I have one more screen to share with you. More than I wanted to share. So yeah, you saw Wade's website. Go check that out. Seeing tonight those music videos, like I want to see more. I hope you want to see more. And then check out more of Kavan's work at SoundCloud. He's just got like the most like beautiful soundscapes over what's already just like the most like thoughtful and just like interesting like narration of what he's seen throughout Milwaukee. So check him out there. I got one more place for you to go tonight. Nope. And yeah, for more information on everything that's happening here at MARN Art and the Culture Hub, please visit us at the very new and it's beautiful, marnarts.org, and find that link to the 2022.0, a year in transition that Riley and I geeked out about earlier, that virtual exhibition. I'm going to put that link in the YouTube description. And with that, I'm going to our MARN camera 1. Are you guys there? Oh, they're getting there. They're getting there. I think I see them. Oh, maybe I didn't do that right. Oh, there we are. All right, here we go.
All right. Thank you all for hanging with us this evening. I hope it was enjoyable to you. More importantly, I hope that you learned a little bit more about what we are doing here. And more importantly, you know, we peeled away a few layers of the onion tonight. And that was to just show you how proud we are of the work that we've been doing for the last several, it seems like several years. But I really wanted to thank you. I wanted to thank Riley and Christina for all their hard work. They were phenomenal. So thank you very, very much. Nicole, Brianna, Sam, Michelle, the entire team. I just wanted to express my gratitude. So in addition to the brick and mortar, we also have the new website. I hope you get a chance to go to marnarts.org, where you'll find all the information regarding our facility here. That's where you'll also see very, very important information regarding our actual grand openings that we're going to be doing. We'll do a series of them and we'll be rolling out as soon as we can get our occupancy. As you can tell, we're very, very close. So it's going to be happening real soon. So please stay tuned to our social media channels for exciting announcements regarding our grand opening. We'll, in addition to our social media channels, of course, we'll keep you updated on activities that will be coming out through our MARN organization. So without any further ado, again, thank you all very, very much for this wonderful evening. We hope that you enjoyed it. And without any further ado, I'm going to turn it back over to our MC.
Yeah, I will just say that for those of you who joined later or popped in or out throughout the event, this will be available for you to watch later on. Scroll as you like on YouTube where you are right now. It'll be posted right there. We'll also share little bits of it on our social media later as well. So don't be afraid if you missed some parts or maybe it didn't quite come through with the internet working at that very moment in time. Do pay attention to our exhibition. You go to that virtual exhibition, give us comments, email me if there's an issue that I didn't see. Otherwise, thank you again. And do look at all those artists. Like I said, there's 51 of them. So it would take me probably more than 5 minutes to read all those names and I'd probably mispronounce them. But they are amazing. It's been such an amazing experience for me to work with them and to put this exhibition together. I can't wait for our next one to come. We can just end it with Christina getting us out of here. Have a good night. We're gonna go get some food in our bellies.
Good night, everyone. Riley and Mel said it all. Can't wait to see you here. Check out the tour. Look for the link in the website. The link in the comments to the website. Look for that. All right, we're out. Have a good night. Thank you so much to everyone that joined us. Thank you to everyone that is watching this recorded. We'll see you around and reach out if